In this video, I'll discuss dealing with uncertainty. One of the challenges with being a PhD student or early career scholar that's pre-tenure is uncertainty. You don't necessarily know where you're going to be going next. You don't know if you'll get tenure. You don't know if the publication you need is going to come through. There are a lot of different things that really create levels of uncertainty, and that's just the personal stuff. There's also what's happening out in the world. Is the thing that I study going to exist because an incoming administration decided that it shouldn't? There's a lot of those questions floating around, so I thought I'd discuss how to potentially deal with all of the uncertainty and maintain a sense of balance. Our role as scientists is to ask and answer questions and hope that the world becomes better as a result of our inquiry. That happens even in uncertain times, and often especially in uncertain times. One of the first things that you should do is to reflect on your feelings. There are a lot of different reasons why you might feel uncertain about yourself. No, not yourself. God damn it. One of the first and most important things that you should do during times of uncertainty is to reflect on your feelings. What got you to this place of feeling anxious or feeling uncertain about the future? What are you anxious about? What are you afraid of? Name the things, because by naming them, you begin to understand potential mitigants and potential ways to get beyond the fear, beyond the anxiety that you might be feeling. This is because often by naming something, we suggest its solution. When you do this, be thorough, because it's important for you to understand what's happening internally and also what's happening around you. If you do applied work in studying human behavior, it's especially important for you to pay attention to what's going outside in the world, because if something's making you anxious, chances are it's making other people anxious. And it's important for us to do our job and to really investigate the phenomena that are happening outside of us and outside in the world, in hopes that our contributions can help make things better. Uncertainty often feels like being out in space when you don't have anything to push against. And one of the ways that you get around that is by finding things to push against. Regardless of what you choose, it's important for you to understand the policies within your context so that you can understand what's possible and what isn't possible. By understanding what is and isn't possible, you create the boundaries, you create that sort of metaphorical physical thing that you push off against, so that you're not just floating in this nebulous space of uncertainty. When you begin to understand policies and rules, also think about the people. Who are the folks that you could speak with so you have a better understanding of what is and isn't possible? This is another way that you can begin to understand the new context that might have emerged or might be emerging as a result of uncertainty. This is an opportunity for you to expand your network and really think about building a coalition of folks who know things that you don't. That'll enable you to, again, alleviate feelings of uncertainty, because you will begin to understand what is and isn't possible. You should also slow down. Often during times of uncertainty, there's this impetus to act quickly and to try to fix something. But often uncertainty is this slow burning thing where you're not actually sure what's going to be possible in weeks or months or years down the line. So it's important to treat it like a marathon. Treat it like something that's going to take a while to resolve. Therefore, you need to understand that you're in for a run. You're in for that marathon. So take your time, plan, strategize, but initially slow down and don't be reactive. Because in being reactive, often we can paint ourselves in a corner and work on things that might not bear fruit later down the line. The other reason is just strictly a physical one. Often when there's a lot of uncertainty in the air, we just have limited bandwidth. We have to deal with the uncertainty and deal with what's happening out in the world, and that diminishes the capacity we have to deal with other things. After you've done that, set some goals. These goals can be personal, professional, and social. Just like understanding policies gives you structure, setting goals gives you additional structure so that the feelings of uncertainty begin to diminish because you will have something you're aiming for. So set personal goals, for example, of maybe working out a little bit more or giving yourself structure in some other ways. Set professional goals. For example, you might have some research questions that you are now interested in as a result of things shifting. Similarly, you might set some social goals. During times of uncertainty, it's important to have a community around you so you can ask and pose questions of folks when you're not sure about something. And having that community is important. So set some social goals. It could be simply getting back in touch with someone you haven't spoken with in a while. It could be developing a new relationship. But building community and building relationships is what helps during times of uncertainty, because if we're in it together, sometimes it doesn't feel as bad. When you set those goals, make sure you leave yourself some room to try something new. This something new can be whatever you'd like it to be. It can be a new project, it could be a new hobby, it could again be exploring new relationships, but doing something that's novel gives you something to focus on and a problem to solve or a challenge to overcome. And the fact that it's novel will help you break out of a pattern that might be unhealthy. If you're ruminating too much on current events, or if you're ruminating too much on some of the work that you're doing, new things force us to think differently. So find some new things, find some new hobbies, find some new relationships, find some new projects to break you out of patterns that might be maladaptive. Focus on things that you'll enjoy or things that you know will make things better. This could be starting a new gym routine. This could be starting a new type of physical activity. It could be starting a new hobby. Either way, the novelty will help.